How are we going, everyone? How's the weather wherever you live? It's been crazy over here. We've just had a downpour come through. It's spiking up to about 30 degrees on the weekend, which is basically tomorrow, and then dropping down to 16 on Monday. Fantastic, isn't it? For our veggie garden and our flowering plants as well. Pretty much any plant. When the soil is, well, the temperature above ground fluctuates so dramatically, the soil temperature is ever so slightly rising and getting warmer, but we need that consistency above and below. We can't have, imagine this, you're sitting in the middle of Sahara Desert one day and then in the middle of a bloody storm the next, and your feet could be either in icy cold water, sort of like cold soil, or it could be lukewarm temperate soil. But when the temperature constantly changes above and below ground, you get damage happening, and this is an example here. I think this here, the beans, I transplanted them and they got scorched. Now, for what reason? It could have been the weather, and you can see new growth is just starting to push through in the bottom there. So that's settling down. The stem's nice and green and succulent, so that's a good sign. But even more importantly is my tomato. Have a look at this. Look how dark the stem is on this. It's super dark, it's purple, it's hard as a rock, hard as a stick. Now, I planted these tomatoes, well, this one and a couple of others around the garden were from Sarah's place at our Seville outlet there, the community outlet. Now, Sarah's got I was actually there, I'm planting some more, I'll show you in a second. She's got over 65 tomato varieties ready to go. So it's the big weekend for planting your tomatoes, folks, Cup weekend and all things like that. So if you're near Seville in the Yarra Valley Ranges, pop down to Sarah, say hello to her. She's in Victoria Road, Seville. She's got an amazing range, and they're all grown cleanly with our compost, our cocoa, our liquid fertilizers, and they're conditioned and hardened off really well. So there's one. Let me show you another one. Is it in here? No, it's not. It's over here. Come. This one here, folks, I've planted in the middle. I've got the stake in already for this one. This is called Chocolate Lightning, Chocolate Lightning, next to the grow stick that we've got here. Now that one there is just bleached off a little bit, but it's okay because look at the plants around it. They're thriving. You've got a lettuce that's grown into a giant monster, and another chicory variety here that's just gone crazy. So this will take off, and if you're noticing, I don't know where the camera is, if you can see this little part down here, folks, have a look at these beauties. These were a gift. This is an extra large Roma tomato, and this one here is called Cal Tit. Now, I don't know if that's the actual name of it, or Cal's Udder, or Cal Tit. I dare say it's going to be like a long, I remember the variety called Alka tomato. If any of you remember that variety and you got some seed, please reach out to me. So they're doing okay. They're going to go in the ground shortly. Maybe not outside, maybe in the hothouse, but let's go and plant some new ones that I just got. All right, well, we're going to do it in this bed here. This is the new bed that I fixed. Now, I've got this one here is called a Big Pear. I'm not sure if it's a yellow colour or red tomato, but the pear shape is like an ox heart, I suppose, but that one there's Big Pear. Let's have a look at the root system on this. There we are. Oh, look at that, nice and healthy. Nice and clean all the way around. That's what you want. Now, you don't disturb the roots on these things, folks. Honestly, unlike a tree where you want to sort of pull out the roots and things like that, you don't do that with the tomatoes. If they're pot bound, well, just soak them really well before you plant them so you got moisture into the heart of it all. Now, I'm going to plant right in the middle here. I'm going to stick a tomato in between the beetroot and the chicory that we've got growing here. And this is, I'll tell you, if you've got really poor soil and you want to see how to fix it, check out one of our previous videos on, fixing a tree root infested garden bed. That's what this was. For those who haven't seen this bed before, this bed was literally impossible to deal with. You could not get a scratch into there with your fingernails or with a garden fork or a hand fork like this. So we dug it all over, fixed it all up, and it's really good now. Now, before I dig in, I just want to show you, this is some of the things I do. Now, if you've already fertilised your bed and you've got it all ready going and your mulch on top, fine, just open up your hole and drop it in. If you're preparing for the first time, you can fertilise immediately at the same time. Unlike other fertilisers, these ones here won't actually burn your plants. But again, practice caution, we don't recommend you go and put handfuls like this around your seedlings. You really only need to do about a teaspoon to a tablespoon. That's as much as you need for a seedling plant, even for this whole area, and not directly around the root zone either, folks. It's a sprinkle over the top. You can pull the mulch away if you like and drop it in, and then put the mulch back over the top. Or if you've got the fine grade, so this is the coarse superfood that I'm talking about, but if you've got the fine grade, which is a fine sort of sand-like texture, fine stuff, it'll fall quite freely in between the mulch. It will activate the mulch as well, and at the end of the day, it's one big happy salata, as I call it. You've got life at the bottom, carbon breaking down, you've got mulch on top becoming a food source, so it's got everything you need for your plants to grow. This one's unlabeled. This is the new Shit Happens stuff. This is the soldier fly, whole body, head, tail, body, legs, wings, pulverized down to a powder like that. So we dehydrate them, pulverize it down, and now you see the larger granules. What you see there is the actual frass from the soldier fly. So we put a little bit of that in there as well, which is the superfood basically. 95% insect body because of the chitin. These plants should not be infected or attacked by virtually anything because it should have all the energy and all the minerals that plants need to look after themselves. So a little sprinkle of this. And this stuff here, again, folks, honestly, I haven't done this bed yet. This is what I would do if I had my mulch on top. I wouldn't be pulling the mulch away. It's just too messy and it gets quite difficult. So I would sprinkle probably a little bit more than a handful because I'm working through the mulch and grabbing a few handfuls as I'm going through, or half handfuls. Do that over the top and then add your water over and let it dissolve right through into the bed there, into the root zone for the microbes to feed. So just turn that in like that. Where is it? Little tomato, because it's a small one, we don't need that leaf there. You can bury it, that's okay, but you can also just take it off. They're the first two initial leaves the plant comes up with as a seedling. That's its food source. It's an extension of the seed, carrying all the minerals and nutrients and DNA that the plant needs to be able to grow strong. It's a bit bent, I know, because it's been in the car for a while. Anyway, so you don't have to worry about those. Take them off, but look after the green leaves above. Now, I haven't buried this much deeper than what it was, and that's all it really needs. Get your garden stakes in there straight away. Here's a tip. Raised beds this high, do not put indeterminate tomatoes in unless you've got a big ladder and a scaffold around there so you can climb up, because these will get up there. You've got a metre that you've lost already. So as soon as this hits 6 foot, it's 1 metre, 2 metres and 6 foot. We're talking 3 metres above ground. So these are great for the ground level or garden beds like I have that have sunken right down and you only top them up a little bit. So you're planting down below, down low, and then you can maintain your tomatoes. It's a good tip because in the early days you think it's okay, but as they grow you'll start to realise it's too late. So folks, it's tomato season, the big cup weekend. Get out there and plant, go to your local garden centre, support them. Pop out to our outlets, our community outlets. We've got Sarah at Seville with some seedlings. They're ready to go in the ground. Even Mary Anthe down at Dandenong outlet there, she's got a few seedlings available, and all our entire range is available across all our outlets. Online and in store if you like this weekend. Enjoy some great specials. From me, Vasily, Maresi.